Facade Dimensions. In this section, we have to add the facades of the building, and to eat this process, we make it possible to upload a typical floor plan. Please note that the typical floor plan has to be an image file, so either JPEG or a PNG file. You cannot upload CAD drawings or other building drawing software files yet. So we'll do that. Here is a floor plan of a somewhat complicated facade because it goes in and out like this. And to start tracing the facade, you click on Trace, Start Tracing, and it might be helpful just to zoom in a bit so you see the facade as big as possible on the screen. And you start in one corner. Often it's a good idea to make the first facade the main facade. For example, the one that's facing the street. So for this particular building, it's actually the facade over here on the left. So I'll start here on the bottom corner because we trace clockwise. And then you basically put the cross at each corner of the facade, one by one, like this. And you just keep going until the whole facade has been filled up or traced out, as demonstrated here. And when we get to the end, you click back the first point that you started with. So there's a marker here. So once you click on that, the whole facade has been mapped out, traced out, and it automatically labels the facades, starting with the main facade, F1, then F2, 3, and so on, all the way around. So in this case, we have 20 facades. You will also notice the north arrow at the top right here. So in this case, the main facade is actually turning west, facing west. So you go down here and adjust the angle. So we need a 90-degree rotation, and this was actually in the wrong direction. So I need to put minus 90, which is not possible. So then I'll just put 270. And that suits the purpose because now the north arrow is pointing straight up, and my main facade is facing west. You also have to put in the building footprint area, excluding the car park of this representative floor. And in this case, there's actually an atrium in the center, but you include that atrium as part of the area. So the area of my footprint, as traced out here, is 1,500 square meters. And once you type that in, the length of each of the facades is automatically calculated. So in my case, it's pretty correct because each facade is just below 30 meters, and that's exactly what we have here. You can see if I put a bigger footprint, then the facade lengths are adjusted. So I'll revert back. Also, if you regret later that you want another facade to be your main facade, let's say facade 16 should be your main facade, then you can click there, and then that becomes the main facade. So now you can see it changed to here. But in our case, let's keep the main facade as F1, which is easier later on when you enter in the next section. And then we click next.